Hey everybody, Steven here, and today I'm looking at a new product from Lumary. This is their Smart Outdoor Light Bars. With this, I'm going to cover the specs first, and then we'll look at all the different lighting effects. Inside of the bar, we have 4 pieces here. So a little bit different than their other ones, but each of these actually have these sections in them that you get to control inside of the app for a lot of different cool lighting options and combinations. With this as well, you can see that you have the mounting bracket that is on this and the little shield there. So you can mount this on a wall. You don't just need to use it outdoors with this. There are plenty of options that you have with this particular product, which is awesome. With this, there you can see the 4 different pieces. All of these are strung together as well. And then they are waterproof, and you can see you get the screws with this, which is great. Again, for mounting this if you wanted to mount this on a wall. In terms of the specs here though, the input voltage 100 to 130 VAC at 60 Hertz. The color here is RGB plus the AI, it's tunable white, 2200 to 6500 K. Operating temperature is -4 degrees Fahrenheit to 113 degrees Fahrenheit. We have the 4 pieces. IP65 for the rating, again waterproof for the most part here. Power is 12 watts per each of these, and then for the rated life we have 15,000 hours. And this is just a quick clip, me showing how you put these together and connect them together. So it has the 3 little prongs in there, they fit together, and then it has the cap. You just screw that on, and then again, that is watertight, that is sealed. Very, very tight right there. So using this outside, you're not gonna have any issues. So now that I've covered these specs, let's go ahead and shift over now to the app and all of the settings that you can adjust inside of that. So this is inside of the app here. Setup is quick and easy to do. Plug it in, it starts flashing, it automatically detects this and connects. You can see I have a lot of Lumary products here. I'm not even scrolling down with this, but the app here I find fascinating because it is different in this portion here than any of the other lighting products that they have. I really like this. Now at the top you can see the string of lights. Within that you have 6 sections that you can adjust. You get to paint, draw, and erase on that. You have the color and then the white, the value, which is just how bright this is going to get. At the bottom, it's a scroll wheel. And then in the center, you can see that I'm actually just adjusting this in terms of the intensity of that color. So I can scroll that wheel, change the color, and then change the intensity of that. So you can have it at 100% or you can go less than that. So if you don't want it like an extremely bright green, you can actually go and make it less bright, right? And then you have overall brightness. Again, the value there is 0 to 100%. At the very bottom, you'll notice the power button, dimmer, which is what we're on, scene, music, and then other, and we'll cover all of these as we go through this process of looking at everything. But again, at the top you're looking at the actual lights within each light bar. Now the overall length of this is less than their other products, but you get all these lights in between, so there's a cool trade-off here. And this is just me erasing right now those certain lights within there. So you can see it was on the right hand side, those actually start to go away and then come back. You also get to paint with this, and so I can just throw in different colors. Now the downside here is you start combining colors, it's going to turn it into another color. It's just how it works, right? Because if I throw in right there where you saw the red and green, it starts looking yellow, right? Or you're going to have an extremely dominant color like blue. I mean, that's mixing with the green and it kind of starts to look turquoise. So there are huge options here. You just kind of have to play around with it a little bit and see, hey, what is that going to make once I do those color combinations? When we get to the scenes here in a little bit though, it does allow for really cool scenes and different effects that you get with this because of those lights inside of each light bar. So going to go through now and actually just paint all of those back to red. You can see the color intensity here it's really vibrant. It's a deep, rich color. Moving over to white. The only thing with this is you just have that color temperature that you can change with this. So you can't change the intensity of that little bar in the middle on that wheel, it's not going to be the same here. It's more, hey, you can just cycle through that and then change the overall brightness to it. So the color temperature here, you can go from that 2200 to that 6500K. Shifting over now to scene. I like this setup here. Again, different than any of the other products that they have. Inside of the same app here, it's just this setup is different. A lot of options here. So at the top we have recommend, collect, custom, and then we have mood, festival, life, color. And then within that you have these different settings, right? These different scenes. The only thing I have noticed, you're going to see it a handful of times. So this is a Chinese company. Some of the names are a little bit off with this, right? Also inside of the app, just scrunching the text on some of these, the way they split it is kind of weird. Like if you look at Mediterranean style, that looks a little bit weird. In Righteous Profusion, that just seems like a weird name to me. They're all cool effects, but some of them are weird. Washington's birthday, American Flag Day, Independence Day, May Day, Lincoln Day, Washington's birthday. But if you look at Washington, the S is on the bottom line, and then it says birthday. International Day of Forests, that Father Wise Day, and I think that's misspelled, by the way, on Father Wise. So they need to go through and maybe update the naming here. Some of them start kind of looking similar to each other, but there are a lot of cool lighting effects with this, just because, again, you have those light sections within each light bar. It allows for cooler effects than you get with the other lighting products for outdoor, indoor situations that I've used, right? The floodlights and things like this. The other one at the top, my favorite, my all-time favorite here for the naming, Hollow Mass. So not Halloween, Hollow Mass. Thanksgiving, the NG is on the bottom. So if you can get around the name, I think they'll get that up to date here shortly. They just need to go back in and fix the naming there after getting feedback. But again, Chinese companies, I don't know who they can kind of consult when they do the naming here. That's a little weird, but lighting effects are great here, and that's really what matters. And they have a huge amount of options. I won't cover everything because of that. There's just too many to cover. So we had mood, we had festival, we have life here. So with this, these are, to me, they're going to be, you have the read and work, which are just color temperatures, spring bud, winter sun. Usually with the lifestyle ones there, especially for like the work related stuff, it'll just be color temperatures. Other ones in there with a little bit of color, kind of cool. This one, Coralito, a coral. I don't know what Coralito is though. Teal green, picture of a duck, kind of unique there. But all of these are extremely vibrant in person, which is great. This one too is another one I love. Warnambo old cheese and butter. Warnambo old cheese and butter. I don't know. That's a very weird name. And it's just like a really, to me, it is a rich, buttery color. It actually really looks really good in person. But beach, I do like beach. This one has just like that blue, and then you have that kind of sandy color that trails it. Secluded Orchid Lake, very weird name there. And then Prairie Sunset, another unique name. Oh, at Nightfall, another one. Tropical Dawn looks pretty cool. I do like that. Here we go. At Nightfall. So this goes from, to me, it does look like that, where it's, if you've ever seen like those greener, dark skies at night, it goes into a dark blue. But cool effects here. They all are pretty unique for the most part. You may see some overlap on some of these. Collect, at the top, you're just seeing ones from recommend that are over here. I'm not quite sure the difference in that, if it's something that you can shift over. I couldn't quite figure that out, but collect is here. And then we're going to shift over to custom. And this is where there's, again, so many different options in this. I can't cover everything because there's just so many different adjustments to this that you can do. I've been using this. It is Christmas time, so I've been using this with Christmas and just the setup that I have here. But we're going to add another one, and then we're going to go through and look at a good portion of the different things that you can adjust here. But I mean, so many. We got gradient, jump, breathe, and I'm about to scroll back through here in a second. Gradient, jump, breathe, flashing, flowing, rainbow, meteor, and then beyond that we're going to have pile up, which is pretty cool, falling, follow, flutter, flash, rebound, and then we have shuttle, random, and switch is last. Within that, you get to add the colors that you want. You change the value or the intensity of that, so the brightness. And then it's the same color wheel, it's just shifted over. It's not on the bottom. Now, each of these has their own setting within it. So if we're looking at falling here, which is what I'm doing right now, the bottom, you'll notice it says turn to, and then it'll say positive. The other side will say negative. So you clockwise or counterclockwise, one to the left or to the right is basically what you're adjusting here. But some of them are going to have different settings based off that. Paragraph in here too as well. So how is it doing this? Is it as the paragraph, the whole paragraph, or is it segmented within this? So you get to adjust that. And then the speed typically at the bottom, or whatever setting that is going to be last here. If it does have speed, typically is there actually. But you may find other settings again at the bottom. And then you always have to click the preview button towards the top. And then when you're done, you can name it. Right now it just says custom. You can name that and then save it. So we got pile up here. I like this effect because it just slowly builds. I don't know why it reminds me of Tetris, but it'll build the color. It'll cap all of them out, and then it'll shift to the next color. So tons of options. A lot to mess around with and just check out and see what can you create for whatever you're using it for. Right now I'm using it for Christmas, and then I'll use it for actually the training studio that I have, and use it in there for just cool lighting effects inside of there to make it more colorful. I'm using some other lights right now, but I think this is going to be better because I can mount this to the wall, and I can't do that as easily with the other lights that I have. This one, and this is the meteor shower, so you have the 3 different options there at the bottom, and those are different. So not something that you see with like pile up, for instance, right? You still have the positive, negative, but with this, you have those different adjustments. So again, more to play around with. And I like this lighting effect, like that twinkle that it has to it. Changing the speed at the bottom too, you can make it more specific to whatever you're doing. I'm thinking like, because to me these are, yeah, they're outdoor lights. Indoor lights is just, it seems more possible to have cool variations with this than other products that are like regular floodlights here. But they're like parties, like for anybody that has a business where you can mount these up and like you have a cool party scene now with these lights. I think that's going to be something potentially a lot of people are going to use this for. It's more almost indoor than outdoor here, right? And I just have these resting on the ground just for easier setup right now, because I didn't want to mess with setting them up in the studio right now and then try to film it, because that is going to take me a while to find out exactly where I want to place them and then screw them in on all that other stuff. This is just easier at the moment. But next we have shuttle. This one being interesting too, because that was just like straightforward. It's just, you can adjust the speed. Switch, meanwhile, and staggered. This, to me, by the way, the switch here where they like hit each other and then they kind of bounce and cross over and go in opposite directions. It almost seems random. It kind of seems similar to random. Random's going to look pretty chaotic here in a second. So it's different, but this is a cool lighting mode. So I'm going to let this roll out. I'm going to actually shift over to a couple different settings here in a second and then save this. But the thing that we're going to switch over to next is music. And with this, the different options that you have, one is geared towards playing music on your phone, and it's essentially the app reading the music off your phone and then translating that over to the lights. The other one is this has like a button on it, and you can use that button, and it's from the power AC adapter to the first light. You can use that to turn this on and off and hard reset this if you need to, but you need to bring that music, that sound close to that, because it's picking up on that volume, that noise, that music on that, and that's how it translates it to the light. And again, this goes back to this being great for like a party, right? Because you get to use that as long as the music is loud enough. So you do have to keep that in mind. So we named that one party, right? So you have party one right here. Shifting over, so this is music rhythm, local mode. That's where it's picking up on that music, that sound from a device that is right there. We have rock, and then we have jazz, adjusting the sensitivity to that. So you can have it 50 or less. It just depends on how loud the music is, right? I'm actually just hunched over right now with my phone close to it so it can pick it up. Then we have classic here. You don't get to adjust any of this, by the way. So whatever the kind of setup is with it, you don't get to control that. And that is the same for the other music options. After that, you have scroll, and then we're going to have energy, and then we'll finish out with spectrum here. That is one of the things that I mentioned with the other products, because the other products don't have this, at least the ones that I've reviewed, by the way. But I've mentioned being able to control whatever it is doing a little bit, maybe adjusting, hey, just do a solid color. That maybe you can do the same kind of whatever the effect is, but maybe just do it with 1 or 2 colors versus all the colors that it has. I think that would be cool to see, but that's going to be on the software side and them updating that. So I hope that we do get that down the road. I also hope we bring some of these different options that we have with these light bars over to the other floodlights that they have, because this is just, to me, this is a better user experience with this version inside of the app here than the other one. So last, we're going to finish out with the spectrum there, and then this is where it's on the app. So whatever is playing on your phone here, we have music, rhythm, game, romantic. Now, going back to, you can't adjust this. So whatever the lighting effect is with each of these, you're kind of just stuck with that. So customization with this is something I think that they need across the board. So not just with this product and this, it's like an app within an app, right? But the other ones as well. I would really like to see that down the road. Now, after I play these, we're going to look at the other. The big thing with other is setting up some type of schedule for this. When do you want it to turn on and turn off? Do you want to just turn on and be white or a color temperature? Or do you want to turn it on and set a scene? You get to do that as well. And that's what I use the other products for, because they are the lights in my yard, my landscaping lights here. So first one here, we're going to look, this is the plan. What is our plan? We're going to turn this on, or we're going to execute a scene, basically. We'll just set the time there. You would click on any of the days. I don't click on these. When you do click on them, they are highlighted blue. And then after that, we can tell it, hey, when are we going to turn off? So once you have whatever the plan is on that and you save it, you're good to go. Your timer is set. So then if I was to leave this on, right now I have it on a timer for the Christmas lights, but if I was going to do that, it would actually turn on when I needed it to. This one, light strip length. If your light strip has been cut during use, you can adjust the actual length to better set up the light strip. Very nice in here, just in case that does happen. And so that's going to actually round out the app here. So I'm just going to showcase some different lighting effects to finish out the video. In conclusion, I like this product. I like that you have just in each light bar, you can adjust the different segments, those 6 segments of the light. I like the update to the app here more so than the other versions within the main portion of the app, and the different effects that you have here. It needs some adjustment to the naming there, but overall it has all the options I think most people are going to need and more. There's a lot going on within that. So this is a great addition to Lumary's outdoor-indoor lighting lineup here. So if you have any questions about this, let me know in the comment section. I will make sure to answer that for you there. I will have a link for this in the description if you want to pick it up. The only thing I would probably want people to be mindful of is the length of this overall is shorter than some of the other products because there's only 4 of these versus a lot of those other ones have 6. So lengthwise, you may want to keep that in mind and just double check that. But outside of that, I think this is just, it's a really good product, and is it going to fit your needs or not? And I think with this, it's going to be a really cool addition to either your outdoor landscaping stuff, different Halloween, Christmas decorations, or inside and you're hosting parties and things like that as well, or even if you're a business doing that. So that's going to be it for this video, everybody. If you like the video, hit the like button for me as it helps the channel out. If you want to continue to follow along with all my content, hit the subscribe button for me. And as always, thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.